I have got a 6-step process, really a 7-step process to delegating. And the reason why it's such a, I mean, this is a whole page as it's like outline to how to delegate, because it's not intuitive at all. And so I want to share with you my 6-step process that has been very fine-tuned over the last 5 years. And I think we've got it pretty dialed down at this point. I want to share that with you so that you can just do this right from the get-go. So I'm just going to read off of it. Step 1, start tracking what you do as it relates to the role. So literally just pay attention, observe. What do I do when I do this role, whatever role you're thinking about outsourcing? Don't write anything down at this stage. So this is specifically for the business, by the way. This is not like for personal life stuff, but just for the business. Don't write anything down. Just observe what you do. Man, I record a lot of videos teaching my other team members how to do stuff. Man, I spend a lot of time dragging stuff from this folder to that folder. Man, I check this one piece of data 8 times a day. So just observe. Don't write anything down. Step 2, you're going to hire for the role. So when I say don't write anything down, I mean like don't write SOPs, don't write instructions yet. If you go back to the project that I had for Julia, that initial job description, it was, I'm very clear on the 3 or 4 tasks you're going to do. You're going to schedule stuff to YouTube. You're going to create the carousels. So I wrote down the tasks to hire for the role, but I didn't create any SOPs or like documentation. Step 3 is where you're going to document and then demo. I prefer to document with the new team member. So if this is what I said. So if I'm hiring for my content assistant role, I will bring that person on and start showing her what to do. This takes a lot of the tediousness off my plate because her job becomes documenting, which 1, makes it easier for me, less overwhelming for me because I'm not creating SOPs. 2, she learns better and faster because she has to describe what you're doing. So I sit there and I say, okay, like, here's what I did. Like, I show her the finished project and she's like, watching a Loom or watching right next to me. And then she's like, oh, I noticed that you formatted the caption like this. I noticed that you don't use yellow emojis, you use the white emojis. I noticed that you added a Bible verse at the end. So she's documenting what we do. I'm not documenting because it's putting the it's getting that. It's so tedious to write those. And B, she should be the one writing it because she's really writing herself instructions for how she's going to do her job. So that's step 3. And that alone will take a lot of, that alone is working smarter, not harder. That alone is thinking through, and you just take for granted you should write an SOP to describe the role. I am challenging you to reassess and reevaluate everything that you spend your time on because 99 out of 100 times you're not supposed to be doing it. Step 4, baby step handoff. Not a full handoff by any means. So 1 project, see how they do. No way on earth scheduling all my Instagram content is going to get delegated in 1 session. It's, how did you do scheduling this 1 carousel? Oh, we actually need to change this 1 thing. You didn't even nail, again, it's no knock, but you didn't even nail the first carousel. We gotta baby step our way out of this. And she, that's how they prefer it too, right? She doesn't want, that's a really big project. The new team member is just as overwhelmed as you are. And so your step 5 is going to be to audit, analyze, and give constructive feedback. They should be with you as you make the changes. So big thing here. Don't just make the changes. So if they need to change something, if they need to format something, if it needs to be different, don't just do it and give it back to them. Have the discipline. This is what it requires. It requires discipline to explain what changed and why. Why did you change that? What did you change? What was your thought process? Everything. This is why onboarding is just such a absolute mother, because if you're doing it right, it's a full-time job for you. But once you do it and you're through that hurdle, most of my content is up and I don't have to think about it. I probably right now with me and Julia are at the stage where I am thinking about 40% of the content, which is still a lot, but it's not 100%. 60% off my plate fully. All the studio reels, I don't have to think about those. I go to the studio, I film them. She does all the scheduling, all the caption writing, everything for that. Carousels, I still do a lot of. Scheduling the talking head reels that I do every single day, she does that. The stories that are just repurposed, she does. So like, it's really like less stuff for me to think about, and it's been incredible. But we're in the thick of it. This course, by the way, could not have come at a better time because I'm in the thick of it with the onboarding. So it takes discipline. Step 6 is to repeat steps 4 and 5 slowly and intentionally, gradually getting more off your plate as the team member scales up. Literally just what I was saying with Julia. We were repeating steps 4 and 5, baby step handoff. We had a handoff that was too soon, and so we took it back. And then so now we're in the audit, analyze, and give constructive feedback stage. Then she's going to have her handoff. We'll assess, probably give more constructive feedback. It's just that 4 and 5, 4 and 5, 4 and 5, 4 and 5, 4 and 5. And then one day now I look at like with Hedda with the emails, for example, all I do is write emails in a document. And then I don't do anything else. I just write the emails in a document. I give Hedda a link to the Google Doc, and then every day emails go out, and it is perfect. I never have to worry about anything. I never have to think about anything. I never have to worry if it's in the right automation, or the customer's getting the right tags. Like it's a monster in the back end of my email marketing automations and whatnot. And all I do is type words into a Google Doc. That is a fully handed off project. But it took us a minute for me and Hedda to get there. Okay, so here's the last thing on like the 30 to 90 day on ramp. Your team member needs a minimum of a 30 to 90 day ramp up before they can really take over. If you have unrealistic expectations of your new team member, you will overwhelm them. You will stress them out, and you will create a scenario where they're very likely to quit. So I see this a lot where people are like, I have to get my money's worth. I have to get my money's worth. I have to get my money's worth. And you're feeling that, and I'm not invalidating that. That's a normal fear. It's like, oh my gosh, if I don't pay this person, if we don't make money from this, then the whole kit and caboodle shuts down. True. And the best way to get your money's worth is to not be continually onboarding new people. If you make your people that you track down, initially talk to, run a sample project for, onboard that, like get them through the 30-day onboarding trial. If all of that, and then you stress them out because you're worried about getting your money's worth, they're going to quit, which is a waste of time for you. So it's much better for you to lean into that feeling of abundance, that, you know what, like, I'm not going to respond to the scarcity that's kicking up with me. I understand it. I know why it's coming, but I'm going to adjust my expectations by thinking about how long it took you to master the task you were offboarding. So for me, for example, like even knowing the right hooks to write for the talking head selfies is taking my team member time to master. So I'm constantly tweaking them because that's the stage we're in. But what I remember is that it took me forever to master how to write a good Instagram hook. My expectations of mastery in 3 months are unrealistic because it took me 2.5 years to master it. So I'm the unrealistic crazy one. And so if you have unrealistic expectations of your team member, if you put unrealistic pressure on them, they will quit. I am playing the long game. Think about how much money I've saved and made over the last 5 years from Rose, Hedda, and Wendy. I've created beautiful working conditions for all 3 of them. And all 3 of them, I could not have the business I have without all 3 of them. That's ideal for 5+ year team members. That's amazing. And so I don't think that playing the short term works really well with team members. I think playing the long term works really well. And so keeping that in mind, a minimum of 30 to 90 day ramp up before they can really take over. Obviously, this is different per task, right? For dishes, that should be offboarded same day. Once you bring on someone and like you give them their 30-day trial and then they like been doing your dishes for a month, you should never wash a dish again, as long as that person wants to work for you. And so obviously some tasks are easier to outsource than others, but specifically with the business stuff, 90 days is about it's about when you start to see a level of competency that we can work with. It's just so much. They've got to learn about you. They've got to learn about how your business works. They got to learn about the nuances of the role. It takes time. 3 months isn't even that long, to be honest with you. So take that deep breath. You don't want your people to quit because you're being a micromanager and because you're stressing them out. Readjust your expectations and remember how long it took you to master the role. Okay, I want to talk about how everyone needs a Wendy. I want to talk about her. Everyone needs a Wendy.